Welcome back to Pokemon Extra Dimensions. Gale of extremely unimaginably Kingdom Hearts coded name, actually, come to think of it. Let's go and head over to the Snag'em hideout. Snag'em, which somehow feels not that far off of a name from Sangem, which is a town in Gen 4, so that's some good creativity. Delta, I trust you've been well. I'm proud to announce the reopening of the Realgam Coliseum following extensive maintenance. Colosseum, I suppose. Excuse me. Good job, guys. You fixed the building or something. Let's go and beat up some goons. Agrev is the name of a dude from the previous game who had a shadow Pokemon that I don't remember which one it was offhand, but it was something very weird. So interesting that they are recycling the goons. Now that they are like the individual characters. Also, wow, I really should not have... Now I just feel like, oh, I should not at all have unshadowed Roselia, because look at those no fucking moves. I need some levels on this goofball. Yeah, let's remember that this team focused around stealing Pokemon is called Team Snag'em. They are not exactly creative dynamos. Here. Oh, there's Golbat having a goof. Look at me, I'm Golbat. I'm doing this. For some reason. I don't know what the fuck this is, but... Wow, nice 6 damage. Do you not have wing attack? You? Oh, damn it. I didn't target that correctly. Did I at least target the Thunder Punch correctly? Okay, good. I didn't fuck my inputs up for that. The fainting animation is quite good, maybe because it's just so animated. It's like, ah, help me! Ah! Oh, hey, look, it's every 12-year-old's favorite Pokemon. Now that is something I can actually hurt. Hell yeah. I cannot believe they condensed My Immortal into a single Pokemon, right? This is right after somebody designed Shadow the Hedgehog. Is Game Freak hired them to be like, hey, design us one more Pokemon, because our generation needs to end in a weird number like 386. It also feels like a really good Pokemon for, like, people to just sort of build a character around and just have them also be like, but I swear I'm not a furry! Meanwhile, that thing is... It's some sort of standard issue quadruped. It's not really a wolf. It's not a fox. But it's definitely some sort of, like, canid of some kind. So, like I said, definitely Big OC do not steal energy. I'd say we need more cat people, but I think people are basically only capable of making, like, cat girl / cat boy characters out of various felines. At least at bare minimum, you get a couple of people out there who make, like, a Johnny and Hrothgars. Oh, this guy's got, Teddy Ursa. Well, I do have Ursa Ring in my party, too, so I've got... I was about to say bare maximum, but that's no longer true. They gave Cocaine Bear an upgrade in Gen 9. Well, Gen 8, rather. Because it's technically Legends Arceus. Or I'm going to pronounce it Arceus because it might annoy someone. Even though we first heard it as being pronounced Arceus anywhere in the world, and not even to talk about, like, the fact that that's the Japanese pronunciation, more or less, but also because because the first existence of any pronunciation of Arceus' name was as Arceus by Hugh Laurie, of all people, as Dr. Gregory House. This predates the fucking actual Pokemon movies about it. What a world we live in. Anyway, that dude thought he was going to steal my magnet, and he did not steal my magnet. I think I can Leech Seed Coughing, at least. Yeah. I think it's still only like a 75% accuracy, which means I will never have any luck ever again. It's okay. Jesus! Whoo! What, Dustox dealing actual damage? Bull and shit, my friend. That thing is the equivalent of Beedrill. It can't actually hurt someone. Come on. This guy's out here cheating this badly. Just kind of need that guy from Half-Life to just show up from behind the background. Hacks! And a monitor just gets launched at him. Good Christ, what an old reference. I was just saying something earlier about getting old and not liking that. And yet here I go the fuck again. Oh, the 3D model of Roselia in this era is fantastic. Unfortunately, I did have to get it the F out of there because I don't think it can stand up to any more of this. JJ, how are you? Hope you're doing all right. Coffee just like, oh no. Meanwhile, Baltoy can probably clean this up all on their own. Things are going pretty all right. This game's fun. Feels a lot harder than most of the mainline Pokemon games, but maybe I'm just saying that because I did actually lose, like, one battle. No, I lost two. Never mind. And by the standards of the Pokemon series, well, I suppose that it's going to be a little bit easy if it's aimed at children, as a general rule. Especially nowadays. You know, this ain't the 80s where games were... Every game was designed as a coin guzzler, even if it was a home game. Buddy, you can't poison and sleep a Pokemon at the same time. Oh, good lord, yeah. The stadium games... So I admit, I've never actually played through most of the stuff in Stadium 2. I played a little bit of it. But part of that is probably because I was... I didn't have a cartridge for it at the time. And while I had Silver and I still had a transfer pack from Stadium 1, by the time I got around to it on emulation, I was kind of like, oh, well, I would prefer to have my stuff from my actual copy of Silver. And then the battery in my Silver cartridge died, so yeah, no good there. But one of these days I gotta play through it all again. But Stadium 1, yeah, I definitely know that enough stuff in Stadium 1 was just kind of like really really mean, really hard. Oh hey, this guy's named Biden. We had a joke about that yesterday. So yeah, I do remember Stadium 1 being hard as fuck, especially once you get to Gym Leader Castle round 2. Oh boy, that is monstrous. When I was younger, I couldn't get through Gym Leader Castle using just rentals, which I did try to do. I think I beat it with stuff using my actual cartridge later on. My yellow version cartridge, or as it's technically known, Special Pikachu Edition. I don't believe the term yellow is actually an official name. I could look that up in the middle of this turn. But yeah, I tried to do that using just rentals, and there was no shot there. That was just... And I even had like a guide and everything, and it was just like, hey, here's these strategies you should... And I did them, and I still couldn't beat it. Okay, yeah, never mind. I disregard what I said earlier about yellow not being called yellow in any official capacity. That is wrong. It, in fact, was called yellow version on the package, and the Special Pikachu Edition text is where they usually put the "Gotta Catch 'Em All" slogan. So right under the logo, and yellow version is written where the other color version marks are on those. So yeah, Pokemon trivia that you may very well have known, but just didn't think about any time recently. Fire Spin. Oh, please. I would never land that. I mean, I think Fire Spin is like... It's the second least accurate of the trapping moves, if I recall. So it's like 75% accuracy or something. And nowadays they just kind of go, oh yeah, we should bump those up to 100% accuracy, except for the old ones. The old ones get reverse grandfather clause or something. I don't know how exactly you have a reverse grandfather clause, but... Well... someone else can figure that out. Blossom for the last Pokemon. Wow, these guys have a lot of both poison and grass types here, which really means that Roselia basically is kind of restricted to being a Sweet Kiss bot. Because I can do like 5 damage with Magical Leaf across the entire battle. And I can't Leech Seed this thing because it's grass type. And for some reason, as far as I'm aware, grass types are immune to Leech Seed. I mean, fair enough, but still. Oh, that's actually significantly more damage than I was expecting. I thought Blossom was, like, specially defensive, so... On top of the resistance, I was just expecting it to do absolutely dirt nothing. But somehow, it did slightly more than nothing. Yeah, hey, dude, I fought you earlier and I kicked your ass too. But... Yeah, no, we're putting Houndoom up at the front. I was like, I want to get Baltoy to evolve to Claydol, but I think I can wait for that a little bit. It's too long and small! How am I supposed to fit this up my... I'm doing the voice absolutely wrong, but I think it's because I don't want to go straight into screaming just yet. Not more than I already do. But definitely in the back of my head, I did like an Arnold voice for a second, but I'm actually picturing more of like the Ultimate Warrior from this dude. It's because your arm is so thick. Gonzap is this guy's name. Ooh, that is shockingly close to somebody that I remember and hold a slight grudge against for upsetting me, but I digress. Username, obviously, not real name. I know the guy's real name too, but I'm not gonna drop it here for understandable reasons. Gonzo so much. But also, wow. You got two glooms, huh? Well. Oh, you've got a whole 5 Pokemon. Do you just have like 5 glooms or something, dude? Is this our discount 6 Magikarp trainer? Using, like, almost an entire party of one really mediocre Pokemon. No! Immense dislike. Well. I guess we'll send in Da Bear. Da Bear. Mm-hmm. At least Roselia gained a little bit of EXPs there. Oh, you do have different Pokemon, huh? You got Mantine, which... That special defense would be real good if you weren't, like, 8 times weak to lightning or something. It's like... It's a water flying type, so... It's got issues. Oh, that's going to dislike the position that it's in here. And you are sending in Grumpig as your last Pokemon. Grumpig, a Pokemon that, honestly, I've just never found to be all that good. They really did just kind of stop bothering even trying to make cool Psychic types after Gen 1, almost. Not literally entirely, but post-Gen 1 Psychic types are like either that or Gardevoir ripoffs. And ripoff is not necessarily technically correct because obviously Gardevoir can't rip itself off. Gale is a branching evolution, so should we really count that? But no, you guys just kind of seem like a bunch of complete clowns. Although, look at this dude's eyebrows. Unfortunately, his like goatee does kind of make him look a little bit like he's this dude absolutely fronted some sort of butt rock group, didn't he? Ah, dang it. That, I think, is a little bit more damage than I expected out of Electrode because, well, Electrode is a Pokemon that goes fast and does nothing else. Because of legal reasons, Nintendo won't allow it to eat ass. Wait. Am I allowed to say that even? Whatever, this Nuzleaf might take 2 hits to burn down, but we're going to try to give it the business here. Oh, it's just barely alive. Oh, that's... Yo, hold up. Can that thing actually learn Hyper Beam? That don't seem right. I mean, Shiftry, obviously, but Nuzleaf? Oh, yeah, it can, actually. Well, huh. Usually that's restricted to fully evolved Pokemon, so that's why I was like, yo, that doesn't seem right. Anyway, to be honest with you, I probably could have just targeted. Oh. You didn't do the thing I thought you were going to do and go for the target of opportunity. But that's okay. I went a little bit too far in doing that because I didn't have to even bother, really. Yeah, Vileplume kind of makes sense with all the other Oddish family we've seen on this team. Every one of these Pokemon villain teams has at least one Pokemon family that they really like. Even more than just the standard, oh yeah, here's a type that we enjoy. It's like how all the Rockets use Rattata and Zubat specifically. Almost. Oh, gross. More of this. Clearly, I should have gone and actually healed or something. Wait, no, I couldn't heal after Waken because there was the cutscene attached there. So unfortunately, that's no good, as it were. The immortal words of some guy. Whiskash. Okay, come on, dude. Get really cheesed off in Earthquake. Oh, boo. Boo. Finally, a halfway decent target for Roselia comes out. And guess who's lying down on the job because of an effing Hyper Beam? And at level 30 also. Like I said, they are definitely bringing stuff in for these Pokemon a little bit early. Stuff is ramping fast. Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to happen sometime soon. Bring in the Cocaine Bear. Bear medium, as it were. God damn, this sleep is lasting feels like a while. And unfortunately, Whiskash is not dead. Which is especially unfortunate because Bro is going for Hyper Beam again. Eesh. I love only knowing one strategy. You know? Meanwhile, this bear is faster than... Well, I guess it kind of makes sense that it's faster than our goofy little clay object, but still. Hey, come on, wake up. He's got Skarmory as his last Pokemon. Which is a slightly unfortunate thing for us to try to deal with our current front line here, because we basically cannot, actually. The best thing I might be able to do with one Pokemon here is just Ancient Power for a couple of turns. Until I pivot in Ampharos, which will be the most damage dealing we can do here. Yeah, there was a Sanic gag in there somewhere. Ah, boo. Of course. Well, we can send out our... Speaking of Sonic, it's Dr. Robotnik. This guy who's practically just here to be like, hey, were you Nuzlocking, idiot? Well, get dunked on. Yeah, give it back, dude. Like, what are you gonna do? Wrap it around one of your fucking eyebrows? It's way too small for you. Anyway, the funny thing here is that these guys were bad guys in Colosseum. They were working with Cypher to give them Pokemon to Shadow-ify. to do the Kingdom Hearts thing too. So yeah, now they're all like, hey. Oh, I can't go back there at all, can I? Well, rip. There's Biden just walking around a little bit. It might be meant to be pronounced as Bidden or something, which would fit with the fact that a lot of these guys have, like, very edgy-feeling names. Like, we had a guy named Agrev earlier, for fuck's sakes. But I literally cannot perceive that as anything but Biden. So, good job, Genius Sonority. You gave this random grunt, like, the funniest name you possibly could. Okay, not exactly, but very close to. Nah, that vending machine is totally broken. It's so broken we don't even have commentary on it. Okay, yeah, let's go for our little branching path over here. I see there's some stuff going on here, but I want the items first. Hey, 2 revives. Those might have been kind of useful during the boss fight if I actually like to use items. But I very rarely do. Shinnok here. It's like a very bad localization of Shinnok from Mortal Kombat's. Bite this A-Palm and then use Magical Leaf on the Kecleon in order to set up some combo stuff. Wow, alright. Nice skill link, buddy. Uranus. Not to be confused with Uranus. Wait. Oh, that was almost a kill. But only almost. Dang. We'll burninate the Volbeat, and we should be able to do some good damage to... And by good damage, I mean enough to kill the Kecleon, because it has, like, 2 HP left. That's an animation, alright. That thing just shot a laser out of its ass. Well, alright then. Oh, good, you missed. Thanks. You. And of course, Ancient Power to clear out Kecleon, because, you know, good old rock. Nothing beats that. Yanma's a pretty neat Pokemon, but unfortunately, it's going to die horribly here. Yep. It's a pretty neat Pokemon, but also it is made completely of just paper and dreams. Chewing gum and prayers, yep. Oh, apparently the Afro guy is out there somewhere. Mr. Gigantic Pokeball hair. We just sneak past this dude and we can get another PP up. Heck yeah. That's more stuff for me to shove into the PC for later on, because until then, I don't know who's going to use it just yet. Crack open this chest for TM30. That is a move. What move is it? Oh, we got Psychic earlier, so that's great. Shadow Ball. Oh, hell yes. That is very great. And we got Brick Break on our team, too. We could feed Brick Break to a Pokemon. Is this just an exit, or is there anything special here? Yeah, I think there's just a way out. So what we're going to do is I think we're going to go to Pyrite Town, and we're going to see if Mirror B is at the Coliseum. And try to get... That would probably have to be Zangoose then, I think, because that's the only one that I've missed up to this point. Because it did appear when we didn't have the snag machine, but mercifully, the game doesn't really give you a whole lot of those. They don't make you have to go on too much of the side quests for that, which is very nice of them. But I'm going here instead of Realgam Coliseum because I believe Realgam is like level 40 or something. Yeah, the first round of Realgam starts at level 40. We are not prepared for that. So although we're going to trounce this, like I kind of said, I think that there's a slight flaw in this game, that there's just not a great leveling point for the kind of levels that we're at. For having enemies that are on our level that are repeatable. That said, we will absolutely go back to finishing up the Snag'em hideout very soon. For anybody who's like, oh, you forgot some stuff, don't worry. It's not being forgotten for very long. Look at this goofball guy. The facial expression, too, is like a special type of silly. I don't know that Chikorita can tank this Psybeam. I'm not thinking it can, so we are following up. Oh, no, never mind. It lived through that, shockingly. That's no good. Oh, that's less good anyway. I mean, something. That's acceptable. I could probably have taken out the Cyndaquil if I'd used the rock attack. But oops. Yeah, we've all seen these trainer fights like a million times at this point. I apologize. That's probably the most damage anybody got on me in here, so... Hey. Just go for as much special damage as we can. Yeah, so I guess he's not there. We probably can actually get that information from the other thing, but I just decided to... Can we check the radar as an actual item? Yeah, okay. So we can see that he's at Realgam Tower. I didn't realize that was a thing we could do. Well, I think I'm going to deal with that later because, again, I know that the levels there are a little bit high for the arena, so it might be better to just go level up some. Okay. Back here. Yeah, that side provides nothing to us anymore, although I guess we could probably use it as another entrance. Yeah, well, he's gone for now, so maybe he'll come back. I hope he will. That's the way of the boss, which we don't care about anymore because we're done with that. Alright, he's actually trying to fight us. I thought he wouldn't because of his multiple lines. Also, this guy's name is literally Hobble. That's ridiculous. By this game's standards. Again, I have to think that these names are like semi-randomly generated because sometimes it just comes up with words or something. Oh no, not taunt. Big whoop. Oh, you jerk. Putting up light screen. Of course he is. Well, it's a good thing that I have... Well, first of all, a crit that I can land on Giraffe Rig. And second of all, I have Ancient Power on Baltoy, so at least I have a source of damage here. That won't be, like, severely reduced. And his last Pokemon is a Machoke. Oh wow, that Pelipper didn't take much damage from that. It's a shock because I'm not used to the idea of that thing being able to take, like, anything. Granted, I suppose part of that is probably because Baltoy is quite not good at physical damage. Because remember, this is before the split, so... Yeah, let's just land some confusion, and that should hopefully give us a little bit more safety in case the thing decides to do surf or something. It's not quite surf, but it's probably more powerful, actually. And oh. What the hell choice of targeting was that? Oh, that horse shit happened. Cool. Excellent. Love to get hit by confusion, you know. Do that. And yeah, we'll try to land a confusion on Machoke as well to hopefully reduce the amount of turns it can take. Yo, nice. We got the Omni Boost. Generally speaking, the only real reason you want to use those moves. But also, Rock-type options do in fact suck so much that on paper, it sounds kind of good. This guy's using Seismic Toss. Of course. That old classic. Well, I guess when you don't have many other options, you may as well, right? That's okay. This guy should die from seed anyway. Yep. Easy. Easy stuff. That's right, you. I want your lunch money again. There's still that section up in the top left corner over there, where we've got a couple of guys talking over there still, right? Yeah. Have we gone this way yet? No, that doesn't look like a place we've gone yet. I could be wrong. Also, could just be that it just looks like that, so... Or was this the way to the... This was the way of the main, boss's room, yeah. Never mind. I'm just forgetting what this place looks like. Because it is just kind of like, hey, here's a big smashed up building that they're using as a hideout. Cool. Did we fight that guy in the corner? Yeah. I thought so. There's somebody else down this area where we haven't beaten yet. Well, first of all, there's that guy. Plus, there's a whole basement to this place that I didn't know about yet. Wait, no, that's the way out, isn't it? I'm being a fool. We'll fight this guy. He's got an Ariados and a Beautifly to start with. Well, the Beautifly should probably explode on contact from getting rocks thrown at it. It might theoretically still have enough speed to go faster than us. Excuse me. But we can do that. That is just kind of hope that we get there. Sneasel. This thing will absolutely outspeed us, but it's also not very durable. So we can give it some problems. Oh, it's using Reflect. Oh, that's annoying. Oh. There's a chance we might not break through it with this then. Fuck. God, yeah. We might not have even beaten it if it didn't have Reflect. Shit. Well, meanwhile, Magical Leaf did much more damage. I guess that's just a testament to the fact that Baltoy's attack really does suck. Oh, hey, look, it's delivered. That thing is double weak to rock, so it should especially fold to this. God, it still lived. Fuck this reflect shit. And Xatu for the last Pokemon up here. Roselia getting speed reduced. Well, it would be easiest for us to take down Ariados. And, I guess try to Leech Seed Xatu. And hope that it doesn't kill us outright. No, Xatu is not that much of an attack damage guy. So we'll probably be okay. Thankfully, Leech Seed should keep us nice and safe while we chisel this guy down. Which is what we're gonna have to do, basically. And of course, we had ourselves a nice old miss there with Sweet Kiss. That's great. Well, I don't feel like splitting up my EXP anymore, so we'll just throw our less useful attacks in this direction. As Xatu just sort of like bobs back and forth like a broken drinking bird. Or sippy chicken, as I've heard some people try to claim that it actually is. So we should just go into the back right corner of that top floor, I think. Because that other downstairs path is just down to the last location, huh? Guy's doing like a whole regular interview here. That's pretty good. I have no real notes there. And this guy's using a Remoraid and an Octillery. How unfortunate for you, because neither of those are good Pokemon. Get him the fuck out of here. Sand Slash is respectable. Loudred is kind of mediocre. Unfortunately, Sand Slash is going to just die in one hit, because, yeah. And Crawdaunt. So that's Water Dark, so I can't hit it with Psybeam. I gotta be careful that I actually do my inputs. Alrighty. This guy still doesn't know anything about what's going on. Hey, cool, we got a rare candy. That's probably going to be kind of nice to have at some point. That's for sure. Especially if I end up deciding to do more party swaps, then that will help me raise a new party member a fair bit easier. I battle you already? I did not battle this guy already. Let's go. As we enter in here with 2 rock grounds. So this should just be free experience for Roselia, basically. Well, that's fine if you use Intimidate on me. That's okay. I don't really do a whole lot of physical damage anyway. It's better to reduce the total amount of enemies on the field for sure than it is to actually just, you know, better to do that than to stack hits on a single target that we don't know if we'll kill for sure. I missed which one that was, but Balto got tormented. That's mildly unfortunate. Thankfully, I got rocks I can use instead. Oh, and here's Tropius. This is actually something that might take good damage from getting hit by a rock. Grass doesn't resist rock, I don't think. I don't remember. Okay, the damage is pretty bad, but I think that might just be a matter of the barrier up. Meanwhile, honestly, it's Roselia who can't do much in this fight, or soon won't be able to do much anyway. Ow. Hey, there we go. Level 36 for Baltoy. Thank goodness. I can swap you to the back of the party now. Someone else. We'll chuck some more rocks, and Roselia can get swapped out for Houndoom, who's my lowest level. Retro, hey. And also can probably do the most work. Well, actually, Celio could probably do the most work here, come to think of it. Because of the ice damage, but this is pretty good too. Honestly, yeah, it probably is like the Pokemon that I will end up using the most after this point. I ended up with Baltoy up at the front for so long, basically by virtue of the fact that I just wanted to evolve. Baltoy was actually very good early on. It is sagging a little bit now, so Claydol is going to be a welcome upgrade, to put it nicely. Yeah, Claydol is an absolute tank in this era. It probably has a little bit of... It can probably offer a decent amount, even offensively, as well. I mean, we're not in the pure doldrums of Psychic just being absolute shit. But... Ground is also a good attack type. It's got decent stats. It'll work. Excuse me. And I mean, we're in such an era right now where looking at a Pokemon and looking at its stats and going, that's mid. That's usually still kind of usable. We're not talking about like Gen 9 stat inflation or any of the other Gen 9 stupidity either, so we'll probably be fine with it. Are there better Psychic types I could use? Yeah, but I would have to go through the process of getting those prepped. In any case, I believe our next target is the Cypher Key Lair. But first things first, we're going to go heal. Actually, I have some side stuff I can do too. It would probably be worth it from an experience perspective to go and fight some stuff in level 3 of Mount Battle. I don't know if we can take level 4 right now, because I don't know what the levels are for that offhand. But if we can just go restart from section 3, we should be able to carve through that decently and not have too big of a challenge with our current Pokemon. So that might actually be our level spot for that section. Yeah, I mean, if we start from 1... Well, I guess I should have checked the continue to see where that would let me start from, but I just assumed it would be you start in section 4. But sure, we'll fight all 30 of these. These will take like a second each for a while. Yeah, see, look at how comically underpowered these things are compared to where we are. This is what I get for just assuming that continue would just continue from where you last left off. And like I said, I don't know if that would be good for us. This guy talking about a baseball mitt? He doesn't even have one on his model. Come on, dude. So we've just ended up padding out this little side quest a little bit. But hey, we get an extra, like, 2 total experience. Why not? Obviously, yeah, it's more than that, but still. Not by a lot. And here's one that's just a single Pokemon for some reason. There's a couple of these in this entire challenge for reasons that befuddle me a little bit. I think Roselia needs moves is the big issue. Because, yeah, that moveset is just like, hey, do you like doing, like, goofy shit? Does it learn anything? I think it learns at least something. I'm also trying to remember if there's better grass types I can use at some point. I think Weepinbell is a shadow that's available. And grass is an attack type that is like... So, grass always kind of feels like the ultimate in clutch type for attacking with. It's not great in a lot of situations, but when it's good, it's very often the best solution for those kind of situations. I mean, grass cleans up water ground, it cleans up water rock. Those are both kind of irritating things to deal with. Rock types in general, well, you have water type attacks for dealing with most rock types, but it ends up being a type that is not resisted by a lot of types that resist other good attacking types. So it's very often that it'll be like, oh yeah, actually this thing is your key out against a small handful of Pokemon that, like... I feel like there's just a lot of ground types that are neutral to water, for example. So if you try to go for water, it's like, well, I actually have better things you could do, at least. Oh yeah, Roselia doesn't have unresisted damage here at all, so this might be a two-turner just by virtue of that. Doesn't, you know, Poison Sting. Not that... You know you're in dire straits when you're like, gee, I could use Poison Sting on this thing. I don't remember if you can learn Sludge Bomb from TM36 in this era, even. So... I also don't have that... When did I get this Flamethrower TM? Oh. Hell yeah. That's... kind of solid, actually. That's pretty great. At least damage against Nincada is neutral here. Oh, this guy is using a Pokemon with Protect. Well, ma'am, that's slightly annoying. Like, I understand the value of it, but this is in-game as opposed to anything where there's even a potential for an even matchup. Especially at this point. So mostly it's just like, oh, you're just padding the fight out some more. Okay. Okay. All right, clear these out. Because, yeah, in addition to the fact that obviously the Chikorita is going to die horribly, the other Pokemon is a Skitty, so especially with the level disparity, if Roselia can't one-shot that, she's getting fired instantly. Or he's getting fired instantly. Oops. I'll show you I am paying no attention to my Pokemon's genders. What's your base power? 60? Oh, that's still kind of ass. Oh well. We'll take it anyway because it's more damaging moves. It's more things you can do. Plus, it's Gen 3. Sap Sipper doesn't exist. Excuse the horrible noises, by the way. I'm just adjusting the mic arm over here because of where I'm positioned. And I kind of had to like wiggle it back and forth as I was advancing it up in the clamp. The clamps! I almost feel like some sort of desktop mount would be smarter, maybe. But then I'd have to... Well, I'm sure I could find one. I do have an extra just clip holder for the microphone. I could probably fabricate something like that on my own if I were to try to, I guess. But I'll think about that some other time. Alright, let's go deal with this guy. Getting very overblown music in a second here, buddy. Opening up with some very, well, unremarkable also because one's Machop and the other's a normal type. Yay. Very easy fight. Hooray. Give me my tiny pittance of Poke coupons. That won't quite get me anywhere near a TM, but hey. They've got their uses. Do I have anything to say here? Yeah, you're just telling me that I can go talk to the Abra. Good to know. What's with these guys in baseball? But yeah, we got a dude starting with only one Pokemon in this area. Come on. What's even the point? Well, neat. And thank you. Let's... I'm sure this part of things will at least be fine, because we've got... we're going through the first couple stages of Mount Battle again, and the Pokemon here are not very strong, unsurprisingly. We're trying to at least go back up to getting through Stage 3. So where we can pick up a little bit more EXP and raise up a couple members of our group some. It broke? That's weird. That's kind of messed up, actually. Why not? Should at least go down in, like, hopefully one hit. I mean, it has a lot of... I was gonna say it has a lot of durability, but it should be fine. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Good job, me. It's fine. Oh, that's rough. That's... Ouch. Yeah, I mean, neat. Well, I mean, yeah. Oh, well, that was Volt VZ, by the way. Thank you for dropping in. Although you're muted, I don't know if you'll be able to hear any of this. That applied to the start of the stream. We fixed it now, but we were starting the stream off. We had to go get our snag machine back. And actually, the other reason right now why we can't get Shadow Pokemon yet is because I got to actually go into the Cypher Key Lair to do that. Because I think that's where the next few are. Or I could wait around for Mirror B to show up again, but he'll probably show up at Realgam Coliseum, and I'm not high enough level for that. I will get my ass whooped. Well, I kept saying that it looked like a Yu-Gi-Oh device of some kind. Because of, well, honestly, because it's a whole funny arm-mounted thing that I like it, but it looks silly. In a different way to the one from Coliseum. Oh, my bot's not on. Wow. This is what I get for... Oh my god. I actually even thought about this earlier when I... Oh god, now my hair's all tangled on my headphones because I just pulled those off. Frustration. Oh, hang on. Yeah, sorry, my headphones all got tangled up in my hair, so I muted the mic for a moment so that way if I suddenly screamed from yanking too hard. But yeah, I fixed it this time. What's funny about that is I even was like, oh yeah, make sure you turn it on before you get up earlier, because I got up before I started stream. And I didn't do that. I thought about it too much and then just, yeah. That's what happens. You think about things too much. But it's working now. And that plug command will lead to a page where all my other shit that I do is located, because, yeah. Or your Espeon Funko. Well, neat. I expect those are kind of a pain in the butt to find, aren't they? I mean, again, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I've definitely seen them show up off and on, listed on the Pokemon Center website. And if not that one, then other Pokemon Funkos, and they are unsurprisingly out of stock, especially the Eevee ones. That any merchandise for any of the Eevee forms just disappears instantly. I feel like not a lot of people are big fans of Glaceon, so there's that part attached to it. That, like, that one might be a little bit easier to come by. Yes, Pokemon Center still needs to do another security check to make sure that I'm human, because of being very busy lately. I guess I was just curious to see if there's been even more stuff rolled out recently, because yeah, the main thing that I had seen recently on Pokemon Center that had sold out, other than, of course, that Pokemon Red and Blue music collection thing, which is like, that's cute, but why can't you do something normal sort of area? The rest is all stuff that's based on the opening scene from Red and Blue, or Red and Green as the case may be. And it's like, you're almost there, but you have this box with the indicators for the Pokeballs that doesn't show up in there anywhere. And it's probably a minor thing to be like, that ruins it for me, but that ruins it for me. You know, just take a screenshot from the game, throw on the Game Boy palette, the palette from the OG, from the toaster, as it were, and you'd be fine. Why did they do what they did with it? It's incorrect. And that bothers me. Bodybuilding at Delpholt. Oh, hey, Roundy, how's it going? Hope you're having a good afternoon, evening. Afternoon, I mean, technically, yes, but why did I say that? Other than my completely cooked brain only working like half of the time. And the other half is what I use for doing video editing, so... Yeah. Got in a car accident last night. Oh. Ooh, that's rough, buddy. At least he's okay, but jeez, man. Well, that's good as well. That. Oh, speaking of good, this guy has good tattooed on his Knuckles on his one hand. Does he have something else on the other? I can't see. Because it doesn't want to rotate that way. Amazing. I mean, if they'd pan around the model a little more. I suppose theoretically I could just wait for I was gonna say I could just wait for this rotation to, but I don't think they're gonna give me any actual look at that with their dynamic camera angles, air quotes. Sometimes I just miss the older, less technologically advanced ways. Those were fine. It's okay, somebody will quote-unquote remaster this with AI upscaling, and it'll say something completely different, and then they'll release it on RHDI, and everybody will just go absolutely apeshit, and then half of the community will completely ignore when people point out the AI, and the other half will find ways to justify it. This, by the way, is a whole bit about that Sega Gaga translation patch recently. Says good and feel. Gotcha. Well, it's interesting. I couldn't see any part of it, so fun little bit of trivia, I guess. But also, man, they put a lot of work into a lot of the stuff in these games. There's a lot that you can say about some of the Pokemon games, but I legitimately think this older era are very good. And the newer ones would probably be perfectly fine too, if the devs were ever given enough time to you know, actually finish the games instead of being forced to pump them out so that way Nintendo could continue to pretend to grasp at relevancy or whatever. Oh yeah, by the way, I didn't mention this yesterday. At least I don't think I did. So, I did mention that this is out on Switch 2 now. Because I had a whole bit where I talked about pricing and all of that. But what I don't think I got around to was mentioning the fact that the Switch 2 version can't connect with Pokemon Home. So, yeah, you can catch Pokemon in Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness on Switch 2. You can't send them anywhere. Which, yeah, that is also the case right now with FRLG, but they've said that they will make those work with it. And yet, for some reason, they can't do it for the other one. Is it because it's part of the Switch Online GameCube collection? Because in that case, just find a way to make it work, god damn it! I hate to be like, oh, this is the least you could do, but it's the least you could fucking do, man? Yeah, I mean, it is kind of more like common TPCI-L specifically. I mean, it's probably very specifically common. You probably could put some emphasis on it being particularly common Nintendo L. But overall, common shared L between Nintendo, Game Freak, and Creatures Incorporated. Also, I suppose common where and who the fuck is Genius Sonority, because I would assume that can I call them GS in this case, because that's an important abbreviation in the realm of Pokemon video games otherwise. Let me see if they're even active. Hey, Wikipedia, you've got information. Oh, technically they do exist. According to Wikipedia, which may be like... This is arguably a grain of salt moment, but number of employees, 20 as of 2024. So, yeah, maybe they would have to call in another company there. Maybe they would have to call in the bomb squad for that or something. The Denpa Men, right. They make the Denpa Men games. That's... But yeah, they're not exactly the most... They made Pokemon Cafe Remix, which is a 2020 title, so I guess at least on paper, they've still kind of been in some sort of communication with Nintendo / the rest of the TPCI triumvirate. So, I mean, ultimately, whatever we're saying here is that it's just this huge, like... It's probably not a requirement, truth be told, for that to be a thing. But also, it does kind of make the product feel incomplete if that's not available for it. And some people will be like, oh, well, you're not paying anything extra for it because you already have the expand. I don't have Switch Online, period. And as I said, I also don't have a Switch 2. So I am speaking from the personal perspective of shelling out, after taxes, approximately $600 for this. And in fact, very likely more, because I'm sure that socks of those, if I wanted to go find one used, would be slightly a pain in the butt. Or if not, if I didn't, you know, if I weren't about to, like... Let me word this better, pardon me. If I were interested in it, and if I were in such a position... Basically what I'm saying here, I'm trying to get around to the fact that the price is going to go up soon because of the fucking RAM shortage. And not that I'm looking to buy one right now. And nor do I have the money for it either. So, whatever. But it is like a big... That feels like something that's missing from the release. And it sucks that that's the case. But I will give one, like, kind of more neutral point than anything, really. But At the very least, Gen 10 isn't coming out this year. It's coming out next year. So, good on you guys. You're theoretically going to give it a little longer to cook. And then just you wait, everybody. It'll come out and it'll be actually worse somehow. I feel like I've had a lot of people have been like, "Oh yeah, it looks real nice," when they've talked about the trailer. I don't need a Pokemon game to look nice. Listen, I still remember playing Red and Blue through an emulator on a Windows 95 computer. I do not require graphics. Not on that level. It just needs to be identifiable, and we can think about anything else later. Although, granted, when I say it just needs to be identifiable, there's probably a few more parts that go into describing what that means, but I digress. That's a whole other story. Yeah, it's just like, okay, sure, it looks nice, air quotes. I need the game to actually perform decently. And I mean, granted, the performance issues that people had broached about Scarlet Violet, very overblown. It wasn't good, but people definitely like overestimated how bad it was, I think. Or perhaps there were enough like pre-day one patches that I missed out on the really bad shit. I guess I should also note I never play my Switch portable and unplugged, so maybe that has a problem. But where the performance problems do become a bit of an issue is that once the DLC started coming out, and I bought the DLC pass for Violet. I have a copy of Scarlet here. I don't have a DLC pass for it, and I assume that requires a separate one because, you know, this entire franchise is predicated upon scams. But the thing that I'm trying to get to, I apologize, is that once those started coming out, the performance got worse. And it kind of started to feel like, oh, is it loading in all of the big maps at the same time? Because people have pointed out stuff like, oh yeah, the whole map is loaded in, by the way, in order to reduce load times between certain areas, I guess. Which, I mean, just program something that, you know, sort of loads it in a bit more dynamically. Bring it in chunks, I guess. And put the loading zones fairly far away from the chunk edge. I don't know. They do that for Quest 64 as well. It's probably significantly more lightweight in Quest 64, though. Remember, the texture memory for the NES is like... NES, oh my god. The N64, which is kind of like the 3D equivalent of the NES on some level, is like not much, is my point. I couldn't say that I knew that, but then again, you've probably looked at more intensive code than any of... I asked for that invite to the Discord server a while ago, and I never bothered to join it because I'm so, like, bad about social things. Because I don't socialize good. I will at some point actually go in there and start picking up the data for any of the little stuff I want to try to do with it. But I mean, at least let me finish the new video that I'm editing first. I am, like, over 2/3 done with that, at least. Everything is recorded. All the audio is placed. Most of the visuals are in place. I just have to do a little bit more with that. So there will be a new video on that main channel on Monday. And for folks who want to tithe money to my Patreon, I don't know, saying it as tithe makes it sound worse, but anyway, for people who want to give me Patreon money, instead of, or potentially even in addition to, Twitch money, it will be up on Friday. Actually, I've got a question, because I do just... all of my main channel videos are stuff about video games. Would there be any interest for anyone to... if you're already a patron, or if you would sign up for it instead... Oh, that thing has lightning rod. Oh, thank fuck, it doesn't negate the damage in this generation. Would there be any market there, I guess, if I were to do some videos that were not related to video games whatsoever and have those as being like patron exclusives? It wouldn't necessarily be very common or anything, but... it would potentially be a thing. Let's see. The Furt actually has some potential to do stuff as opposed to... yeah, it is still Spinda. Which is just kind of having a problem over there. Not being a problem, honestly, but it is managing to spread some status effects in the form of landing confusion exactly once. But yeah, I think a large part of that would be like digging into a lot of non-video game media and probably still doing more like story analysis stuff. Maybe some things that are a little more review oriented. Possibly digging out some webcomics. Look at Magic lore stuff. I'd say Yu-Gi-Oh lore, but I had a bit of a brain fart there of like, wait, does Yu-Gi-Oh have lore inside the card game other than the main anime and stuff? And yes, obviously it does. I'm just being an idiot, though, apparently. So let's go check the Mirror B radar and see if he is at the Oasis Pokespot. Okay. So that is easier to deal with than him being at Realcom Coliseum. Because my dude has a Zangoose for me to capture. There he is. Your timing is as terrible as ever. It's always that way. Let's do this. It's time again. Yeah, and then side channel stuff, by the way, would probably mostly all be gameplay related things for not even just video games, but for anyone who's like, what the hell do you even do with that side channel? I did technically post a video that's like, hey, let me talk about this weird lore fuck up that was involved with this magic card. That doesn't get me anywhere near as angry as I act like, but... man, they definitely done goofed anyway. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this dude's nose pass, right? Whoever it was who had it, was it? It was Mirrorby himself, wasn't it, actually? So let's try and go for just Bite, Thunder Wave. Bite shouldn't kill it. It will do a good chunk of damage, but it's not death. Hey, nice paralysis. All right, now we have to assign 2 turns. And just throw a regular Pokeball. Yeah! And off they go. I'm actually going to pull up the Shadow Pokemon list and make sure that I wasn't wrong. Or I guess that... yeah, make sure that what the case is with that that one I mentioned earlier that was Zangoose. Okay, well, level 28, so we might not have actually gotten to that yet. I mean, yeah, let's not necessarily go with, like, that level of anything. Besides, I already put my political views right into my videos anyway, and it's... you know, that... the AI people are anti-human being, and I should be allowed to say cunt without getting in any trouble. Okay, that's not necessarily a political view. That's more of a joke than anything. That's... technically, that's actually just a backwards way of me saying, hey, I'm a trans woman. And I think that it isn't too much to ask that that be respected. Then again, you look over at some of the people in the world in general, actually, but yeah, so a big part of things that I was planning for side channel stuff at this particular... sorry, I'm just looking through my doodads I have real quick. I don't have the Miracle Seed yet. Where do I... Oh, that's from a dude in Cypher Key Lair, apparently. That Nose Pass has nothing. Oh, god damn it. Did I forget to... I probably just forgot where those are in the Twitch stuff, so I'll have to fix that later. Anyway. There's always something that I forget. Oh my goodness. I have a lot to, you know, a lot to look at for that sort of thing. Anyway. It's this guy again. Let's kick this guy in the nards here. Gadzooks. Which I remember learning years ago. I don't know how many years ago, probably like over 15 years ago, that Gadzooks is a mangled version of the phrase God's hooks, referring to the nails that were used to mount Jesus to the cross. So if you're wondering why people say that, it's because they were saying a religious curse, and someone eventually said, you know, maybe we shouldn't say that. And personally, I disagree. Say it because it's funny as hell, but actually, I'm completely neutral on the matter. Oh, Thursday I was at least sort of paying attention. It was Friday that I fell asleep for a million years. Also, Houndoom kind of got the shit kicked out of it there, so let's pivot to Ursa Ring, because Ursa Ring definitely deserves some EXPs. Some EXP points. I've got the stuff that would go on Patreon right now, I've got a couple of, like... I think a large part of it would end up being a lot more read-along, especially if I'm going to do magic lore stuff, because there's a lot of shit that I could read in there. But for me, it's like, I don't want to start a whole-ass other channel that I will update all of, like, at random, basically, for anything like that. And there's a couple of other... there's at least one webcomic I do want to reread, but the guy who made it is kind of an asshole about certain things, so it's like, I don't want that to be in the most public place. And it does kind of always come down to the fact of like, hey, yeah, I'll hide stuff behind a paywall if I think that people seeing it is bad, because at the end of the day, if you go for it anyway, I still have your money after that. It's run by Choke. No. When was the last time we saw that guy? God, when did I play Battle Network 6? I think it was sometime last year, actually. Although I might have snuck it in at the end of 2024. I don't remember now. I just know that that whole compilation did take me a minute to get through, and I still have a couple of post games in that to beat in those. So I should probably get to that at some point. And also, I don't know what I can due to this Zangoose in order to, like, chip its HP any. I don't have Super Fang, I don't have False Swipe, and it's Zangoose, so if I hit it with, like, anything, there's a distinct possibility it'll just fucking die. Well, good enough. We got lucky after a Pokeball. We threw an Ultra Ball at it earlier, and it got out of that, and now we throw the regular Pokeball at it, and it's like, yeah, all right, fine. Obviously, it's because of random number generation, but it is still kind of silly in its own right. Relicanth, we're going to do some internal math here. Yeah, I think Metal Claw actually is the greater damage. I was like, by now return should be 102. Plus, we get our same type bonus. But then we have to divide the damage in half. So actually, I think that still would have been the higher damage, but whatever. It wasn't going to get the kill anyway. Ampharos was going to do that. Because, excuse me, Relicanth is significantly more physically defensive. As I guess you might expect from it being a rock, but hey. Oh, he's going to leave to another region entirely, possibly. And maybe he'll be back later, I don't know. He's just some random goon, after all. We're gonna go heal. And then we'll start our... we'll start me forgetting that I actually have a battle CD I can go use. Let's go deal with that. Besides, the way I play those, that'll take up the rest of the stream. Oops. Oh yeah, this is just a shop. And the battle discs are on this side, right? Yeah, because we got number, like... It was 18. I thought it was 17 for some reason. Close enough. Okay, you got a Farfetch'd. I have Ninkata. What's the gag here? Adamant nature, compound eyes, metal fire relays, fury swipes, toxic. Yeah, we're not fast enough to toxic through sub. I think this is probably where we want to Fury Swipes, because it should be substituting to almost nothing now. And I'm assuming that this is the intent. Yeah, there we go. I didn't think that Substitute would stop the chain attack. And it didn't. Wow, a guard spec. And we have no new battle CDs to pick up. All right. Okay, I just wanted to take a quick look through some things while I was doing that, by the way. And I was looking to see that the rather infamous ball duplication glitches from Pokemon Colosseum were in fact fixed by Gale of Darkness, which is a pity. I wish that I could, cheese certain parts of the game with just infinite amounts of Master Balls, but unfortunately, no such luck. Anyway, these guys are showing up late, and they are trying to block me in. Yeah. Let's kick this guy's ass. Oh. We got support from these guys. Oh, hell yeah. They're doing it to the enemies this time now. Nice to see that come back through. All right. Let's go and kick some ass. Sea bass. Inside this building surrounded by the horrible purple water. Really enjoying the over-the-top malevolent architecture that's involved, though. Like, that's a choice. Because we got this random grunt dropping in from the ceiling, as usual. Or, pardon me, the term they use in this game is peon. It's very funny that Cypher, which, by the way, not listed as a team. Don't know why that is, but it's not. Instead of grunts, they have peons. That's an excellent choice. Very silly. Next up is plebs. I mean, possibly. We had a team with a bit of like a sort of Roman theming to them. Also, wow, I did more damage to myself than they did to me. That's... yeah, that seems about right, actually. Never mind. Alright, switch in Ursa Ring. Because, yeah, it's a pretty strong Pokemon. And that Leftovers is prepared to do a lot of work for us. Let's learn Odor Sleuth. Yeah, we can skip that. Oh, that sucks. Oh well, thankfully Ursa Ring is still kind of like strong enough on its own to do most of the work here. So first of all, we're going to do this. And secondly, lest I forget again, Flamethrower. Give that to Houndoom, because we do not need Ember. We have Flamethrower. We want to keep at least one status move in case we are in such an ugly position where we have to just, like, tank turns in order to push out a, you know, in order to push for the use of a status, because we're trying to capture a Pokemon. There we go. Let me just use it there. Let's just word it that way. So Feint Attack, that can go. Brick Break instead. Brick Break is pretty nice. That'll let us crack any steel types we get in the way of, or rock types for that matter. Or a lot of other things that we could probably just pulverize the regular way, but hey. Those in particular would be big problems for Ursaring. I mean, carton is technically true, but usually you say carton and I think there's some, like, cardboard involved. But hey. Now we've got a trainer who's got basically the inverse of the other team. I did also kind of forget to remove that paralysis, but I'm sure we'll be okay. Probably. Oh, hey, Ledian, that probably cannot tank a fire, flamethrower. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter too much then, because Ursaring is just going to go for the brute force. Probably can't take a flamethrower, but the fact that I'm saying probably is because Ledian has a passable special defense stat. It's its only stat, but, you know... Also, Illumise... I think the fourth Pokemon that other Grunt had was Xatu, actually, not Ariados, which you would expect for the matching pair for 3 in a row. Come on. Actually, that's not like the worst odds considering, but it's 25% chance each, so... We just ruled, like, what, 1 in 64? Sheesh. Pity there's no healing station. I mean, to be honest with you, I can just suck it up. And I think I've got a Paralyze heal still. Oh yeah, I've still got plenty of status healing items. I don't need to go heal. That's fine. Get our full restore by pushing out in front of the Pokefood crate. I am going to kind of just explore all around here for a bit. See if anywhere in particular, like, does not look like a path forward. Okay, this is not the nicest for us, but we can do this, right? That should cover it. I think Clamperl is the more sturdy of the two, but I could be wrong. And of course, we have to remember that that's going to be offset no matter what by the fact that Ursaring is just too swole to control. Like, that guy using return on you, that's like being hit by a bus. So... that's kinda... not the most, representative. Of what is good or not. Yeah, meanwhile, Lantern is a Pokemon that is always bizarrely durable. So it somehow can just shake that off. I feel like I have never one-shot Lantern. Unless I had like a massive overlevel compared to it. Dang. And yeah, here's where Brick Break is really going to come in handy. Well, we didn't get to see that anyway, but in theory, it sure would. I'm gonna let Ursaring get to 35 before I swap it out. I still have supers in here. I think I got some more super potions recently. It doesn't look like it. I might just be an idiot. That's what happens sometimes. That'll do. Hey, random engineer. Surprised to know those guys try to fight us. Maybe later. 24. 24 is... it's not Earthquake. It's Thunderbolt. Oh, hell yes. I love it when we get Thunderbolt. Can we teach to any of our Pokemon other than Ampharos right now? And the answer is no. But I just wanted to be sure. Because Electric is a pretty good coverage option as a general rule. Not the worst, but... well, not the best, but not the worst. There we go. Nothing over there for now. And yeah, here's another one of these goblins. This fellow, I believe, actually has a shadow Pokemon for us. Scroll down the list a little bit here. Two, in fact. Oh, they're starting to bring in the double ups here. Interesting. Yeah, and here's the first of them. Is Paris. 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 I guess this would probably be the Pokemon that would eventually have False Swipe for me. At least that would make sense. And Growlithe, who is looking a lot more yellow than I remember. Also, what was I saying about these being like N64 era models? Because, oh, that thing looks real dumpy. All right, now, Cocaine Bear, can you resist murdering Paris real quick? Like, don't kill it, just put it real low. That didn't even do that much damage. I'm shocked. Like, what do you mean, man? That also kind of means that I probably couldn't do anything to the other guy, though. And yeah, even though it's probably not a hard catch, we are still going to lay down some Thunder Wave here, just to make absolutely sure. It just kind of spronks at us in a very goofy looking way. Alright. And we'll T-Wave the Growlithe, and no, don't go into fight menu. Go to just chucking a Pokeball straight at the Paris. Easy. Easy clap. Alright, now we'll swap Houndoom in. No, we'll swap Roselia in for damage source because Houndoom might still just blow us ass straight to Mars with Flamethrower. And Houndoom is pretty strong in general, so yeah. Metal Claw should be fine. Metal Claw followed by... Or I guess Magical Leaf followed by Metal Claw, whichever way it goes. Nah, Leech Seed. Metal Claw. That should do. That should put it low enough. I think. I could be wrong. Oh, it is still in the green, so... It's another reason for me to think I could be wrong about that, but hey. Just throw the ball. And Go for another Metal Claw just in case. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Well, that's the thing we're going to have to start dealing with, huh? Is trainers with multiple Pokemon to catch. And browsing over the list, there are 4 for us to worry about here that are like that, including the boss. Because, of course, a place like this, unsurprising that it would have a boss, right? I don't know why I feel like I have to go around in that case, but hey. Yeah, we can just go straight across instead of going around. Oh, there was literally a healing machine right there. Wow. I have a feeling that that's actually the way to go, so I'm gonna go this way and go take a look around this upstairs real quick. Pick up an elixir. I see what you're doing. Using this area to give me a little bit of a preview of sorts. Very interesting noises in this music loop. It's an interesting decision, you know? Yeah. Oh. And here's another one of these goofballs. It's another goon. It's got a Shelter and Rhyhorn. Well, the Shelter is the one snag in this fight. So at least that's coming up nice and early. As I have to bring out Ampharos in front of Rhyhorn, which is not ideal. But at least... Holy! Yeah, that's why we don't try to use Houndoom to get those captures. But, okay. Okay, then. Yeah, alright. Ampharos, you're going back on the bench now. Because you do nothing here. Meanwhile, Celio can start doing some cleanup work. Yeah, no, I thought that wouldn't be a one-shot kill, so... Oh, you are kidding me. It can lightning rod from underground. Low-key, that's a little bit stupid. Also, it was targeting Ampharos instead of... It wasn't thinking to take advantage of a weakness, it was just going for damage. Okay. Okay. But also, Celio should be faster than this thing, right? Rhyhorn has this reputation for charging fast because it's a rhino, so it charges, but being a rock type, it's slower than shit, actually. And unfortunately, we got poisoned. Well, it happens. I guess we just clean up things here and then go backwards and heal. Unfortunately, Ampharos flinched, so this fight is going to take a little longer now. Because otherwise, that Golbat's number was up. Also, this is far and away the beefiest Swalot that I've ever encountered. That much is probably not a huge surprise, really. But... Oh yeah, there's still another Pokemon yet. Eesh. And we flinched. Just don't kill it. Never mind, you're gonna die, because Celio is honestly not that good. Dugong would probably have been the better one to stick with, and yet I chose not to do that for some reason. You know what, Claydol, you can just eliminate this Swalot now. On the upside, when Mirror B has Shelter, at least it will be under more favorable conditions, because I won't have to do anything stupid to get rid of the Rhyhorn or anything to actually be able to Thunder Wave it. Yeah, Shelter fled somewhere. Well, we'll get it eventually. Just use the healing machine and get back into better shape. Off we go. Up, then down. Push this way. Of course, there's another grunt to fight here. I don't remember that name from the list, so... Yeah, this fellow shouldn't have anything for us to capture, so we can just freeform this. Oh, that's slightly unfortunate. Oh well. We still get the kill anyway, because it's Hoppip. It has stats of... not really. Lastly, Blossom, which is... one that arguably might be a little bit harder, but not by much. Yeah, that's fair. It's just... I'm surprised that thing didn't die in one hit. Well, I guess we were defense debuffed. Attack debuffed, rather. So... happens. Pick up these items. Rare candy. Nice. Oh. I couldn't tell which way that was facing. And 3 Ultra Balls. Very helpful. Why does everywhere have the same exact Poke Food crates? I'm surprised that that's what's hanging out around the Cypher Key lair, you know? It seems like the wrong crate texture, I guess. Anyway, we're fully healed. I'm going up to the next floor, and I'm just gonna save, because it's been about 3 hours, so we'll pick this up soon. Make sure we save.